More than 30 million Americans are trying to find work as states continue to reopen businesses. Job hunting, as we know, is hard at any time. But how do you do it during a pandemic? Joining us this morning to talk about this is Ken Coleman, national radio host of The Ken Coleman Show, best-selling author of The Proximity Principle. Good morning, Ken. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
As we've been reporting this morning, we've got those latest unemployment numbers. I imagine you were not surprised by them.
No, not surprised. And it's tragic that we've just had this global suppression of the economy. And I think those numbers are going to continue to tick up as we see the actual unemployment numbers get caught up with our state offices. I think those numbers are actually higher. And yet I still believe that we've got a great opportunity as we see consumer confidence rise, that we will see a lot of those jobs come back.
Number one on your list for advice for anybody who may be looking for a job is get clear on what you want to do.
That's right. I mean, this is a different time. So if you've been displaced, furloughed, or laid off, you've got to think about, now, what do I do well? I want to get clear about what skills I have right now that are very transferable throughout the marketplace. You've got to have the short-term and long-term clarity. So for instance, I'm clear on what I do best, and that's what I can use right now if I've got to have a job. Now, I'm looking long-term as well. What do I do to get back on the path? And that is, you're looking at all three things that you need to know about yourself. Clear on what you do best, on the type of work you love to do, and then the results of the work that matter most to you. And that'll give you the long-term view.
Number two, what do you mean by a resume without a relationship is worthless?
Well, this is true in non-corona crisis times, but it's really true now. What that means is that this is going to be one of the most competitive job markets we've ever seen, with so many people looking to get back to work. And if you're just submitting resumes and there's not a connection in that company, you don't have some type of personal relationship or know somebody that knows somebody in that company that is recommending you, then your resume is virtually worthless. You're just going to be in a giant stack. So you've got to make a connection in the company that you're looking to work for.
Take more than one job at this point.
That's right. At this point, I've talked to a couple people on my show just yesterday who were making very good money in the corporate world, and now they're doing 3 and 4 jobs, working for home improvement, delivering pizza, and then doing some ride servicing, driving as well. So do whatever you got to do right now to stay afloat.
Yeah, you were so right about that. And then finally, you mentioned a little bit of this, but expand on it. Operate in a long-term mindset.
That's right. So what we knew in February is that we had 3.5% unemployment, but we saw that 70% of Americans weren't happy in their work. That's either because they weren't passionate about the work itself, no connection, or they were in a toxic environment. And for people who've been displaced in this time, now's the time to look, is this the kick out of the nest, the nudge that I actually needed? And so now's a good time to think about a plan to get educated or to get qualified to make the transition to the field you really want to be in. Use the downtime to get ready for go time.
You think we should be positive? I mean, we should always be positive, but you as an expert in terms of the economy and the job market, how do you see it?
Yeah, I'm optimistic. It's not a time to be positive right now because there's a lot of negative stuff, but I'm optimistic. And here's why. We are a consumer-driven economy, so a service-based economy. And so when everybody got scared and they began to kind of contract their spending or contract their activities, then we're seeing millions and millions of the 36 million reported are in the service industry. So as people begin to go out to eat and go on vacation and feel comfortable to fly again, I think you will see jobs come back. I don't know how quickly, but I am optimistic that we will restart and revitalize the economy.
Yeah, at some point it will happen. We will stay optimistic. Ken, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Appreciate you. Thank you.